GM, what's going on, fam? Hope you guys are having a good start to your day. I'm a little behind. I woke up early, but fell back asleep. But yeah, what is all of this? I don't need this. Not now. What the hell is all this? I need my my GM chat, my intro. But hope you guys are having a good morning. Like I said, getting the coffee started, seeing what's going on. I don't think I've even really looked at the charts or anything yet. Not really concerned about it. I just think we're in a good position overall. That's where I like to be. I like to, be able to just create and, keep the production, kind of running. But yesterday was good, man. There was a busy day, but we knocked everything out that we could get done. Only a couple things had to carry over. About to get on that call after this. Probably do a couple test runs, with some streaming. So if you see me popping up in between, guys don't got to join. We're just doing it for research purposes and fine tuning the execution of the next stream with Jules. So that's going to be a lot of fun. Let's see. Looking for my intro right here. I don't have one of these screens. And we got a couple guests that are going to be coming on for one-on-ones. I'm just scheduling them now, and I'll release those names later on this afternoon. But you guys know who they are. They're pretty active on the timeline, pretty active in the space in general. So I think that will be good. Okay, here's my intro right here. So make sure it's up to date. Not going to be super long with this one. But if you guys want to share this out, want to get more people involved, I do appreciate it. The more people tuning in does help the algorithm, does pump it up a little bit. But if you don't want to, I'm not going to be offended. I'm still showing up every single day and providing the vibes and value along the way. But what's up, guys? GM, welcome to GM Chats, presented by SMS Live. If this is your first time here, guys, the reason I say presented by SMS Live, if you want to have a stream, or if you want to learn how to get into this, put the show together, if you had some ideas, hit me up. Let's connect, let's collaborate, and let's work together. I don't mind helping out and getting people started, or at least using this platform to get things running. But I'm SMS here to kick your morning off with Solana Made Simple, the latest in Bitcoin, Solana, and crypto, Web3 news, information, trends, all of that kind of good stuff. We'll dive into that a little bit more. Might not get too deep into the news today, but save that for later on at the daily stream. But the quote of the day. This is the one that really matters. This is the reason I do these, guys. Again, if you haven't heard it, it's because I just like to kind of get people's aligned on the same path. If you're tuning in, we're already connected on some kind of frequency. So I don't know. It's just something that makes sense to me. So let's just dive into this one real quick. The more discipline you have in your life, the more freedom you end up with. If you lack discipline to exercise and eat healthy, you'll end up a slave to disease. If you lack the discipline to work hard and save your money, you'll end up a slave to finance. If you lack the discipline to manage your time correctly, you'll end up with no free time. Simple as that. But if you have self-discipline, if you work hard, if you save and invest your money properly, if you manage your time wisely and take care of your health, bro, you'll end up with freedom. You'll end up with more opportunities, more things to do, and God willing, a longer life. I know it sounds counterintuitive, but it's that simple. I see it over and over and over again. And I like to be the embodiment of that. I like the shit that I'm talking about. I only like to talk about the stuff that I can, give you examples and tell you, exercise and eat healthy. Look at me and look at 90% of CT. Easy just posted a picture yesterday of, before crypto, it was a nice in shape little dog. And then after crypto, it was a fat, disgusting slob of a dog. And jokingly, but seriously, like I said, no, that's your choice, bro. Like, you've got more money than a lot of people out here, but you don't have the health. So like, you're going to end up a slave to some kind of disease because nobody's supposed to be that way. Not him specifically, but I'm saying in general, that's a good example. Like, extremely active, super successful in the space, but the health isn't there, and it's always a constant battle. I know the homie works at it just like a lot of the people, but when you post that, it highlights it a little bit more that you are your mind is worried about your health because you're not disciplined enough to do that. You're disciplined enough to make some trades and all of that kind of stuff, but health is the real wealth. If you got all this money but you're paying it just try to stay healthy, like, that's not the life I don't think most people want to live. The other one with, if you work hard and save your money, you'll end up a slave. Or if you lack the discipline to work hard and save your money, you end up a slave to finances. Most of the people in the world fall into this category, even me to a degree. That's where crypto and this financial world that we jumped into has really helped and taught me a lot about how to get through some of these things. I was looking at numbers of, world, like over the world population wealth and how many people have this that or whatever amount of money. You know, the assets, the amount of money I have to my name, ironically, is more than most people, you know, day to day, because they're in debt. They have kids. They have, like, think about childcare. That is ridiculously expensive. Hold on, let me adjust this right here. So it's like that you might make a lot of money, but you're a slave to finances. You're a slave to working. You're a slave to doing that because you didn't save, you didn't prep, you didn't prepare. Life just hit you and you jumped into all these things. And well, for me, sure, I could have jumped into things, but I also know that my goal and my discipline will take me further. And I think that one of the things that helps me build on that is things like this. Even though it's late, I'm still showing up. And that's why I said after 7. Like, it's hard sometimes, like, you know, if there was a little bit more riding on it, maybe, you know, that would have been the case. I don't think I set my alarm last night. I was up watching that damn show Untamed, that Mark Kosler or whatever was talking about. But anyway, the point is, if you lack discipline in any area, you end up a slave to the result of that: health, money, time. If you don't manage them and discipline yourself, you end up with less. You end up, you know, working against it. You end up having to do certain things because that's the position you put yourself into. And you know, the finance thing, that will get better with hard work and dedication. That's why it says, if you work hard, save, invest your money properly, manage time, and take care of your health. Put your health first. Like, think about it like this: if you cared more about your health and you knew that you were pretty set with money, cut your time on this space in half. Like, you don't need, and no one's going to forget about you. Sure, you might not be the hot commodity that you want to be, but what's more important, your health or people paying attention to you? I think if you get your health in line, you have more time for people to pay attention to you. You know, those kind of things. Like, another thing is, you know, I don't own a vehicle. I was, you know, using transportation. It's either a bike or my feet. I walk to the gym. If it's raining, if it's hot as fuck out, if it's cold as fuck out, like, I just bundle up. I use an umbrella. You know, I sweat a little bit when I get there, but I'm going to the gym. Like, the point is, be disciplined. Do it. It's like a mile away or something like that. So I don't have to do a warm up when I get to the gym. I kind of just count that into, like, when I leave the door, my workout kind of starts right there. And then I get to the gym. That's where it goes to that next level. And then the cool down's walking home, you know, and I just look at it like that because I don't know. I like that mentality. You know, my area where I live, my city, state, it's not like that. It's, most people don't walk around. Most people look at people walking around like they're poor. I'm being straight up. People on bikes, they're like, "Oh, this loser." Like, you're on a bike. It's like, you're also fucking fat and a piece of shit. So whatever. But yeah, man, discipline will take you so much further. It will unlock doors. It will break down barriers. It will break down walls. It will, you know, the people that have problems and complain about things, it's because they don't have that thing. And when you start to complain about those things, like, I saw somebody post yesterday, like, "Man, I don't have any friends." It's like, yeah, now you're gonna have less because you just said that shit. And the irony is, like, I'm your friend. I don't know, you went another direction because everybody was kind of coming to you and kind of forgot about the rest of the people that were there for you, IRL and after the IRL event. And now saying that you don't have any friends, but there's somebody right here. I'm not going to go out of my way because I've done it before. But, you know, if you say you don't have friends, yeah, you don't have friends, bro. Simple as that. Like, if you say you're going to make it, you're going to make it. It's those kind of things. And I don't know, man. This space is very strange. And I guess it's like just different backgrounds, different come ups, and the different just understanding of the way life is. Like, I don't like to be the kind of person to be negative. I like positivity. And I was listening to Quicks in the space with Marky yesterday. Kind of, he was kind of phrasing like, "We don't know how much time we got, so you better make the best impact and give as much as you can to the world and give the good stuff. Like, you don't have to be bad. You don't have to do these things. And good, it just, it grows, it blossoms, it multiplies. So yeah, not to beat a dead horse, man, but discipline will take you so much further, and it will unlock keys to all of these different things that you got going on in your life. And the main thing, I mean, we're paying attention to finance, we're paying attention to like freedom and all of that kind of stuff. Like, I live a life that I want to. I live the life that I decided. I wake up every single morning and I have a plan. I write down a plan of action on these cards. Like right here, this is yesterday's. I'm going to circle what I didn't finish and move forward. I posted that one actually on the timeline. I hit the checks with what I did get done. The call and the pool were the only things that I didn't get done. The pool was the last step of that because, like, sure, I could have gone a little bit earlier and went there and hung out, but I know I had other things that were a little bit more important to me. So pool would have been the last thing I could have done. And I just was like, I was there yesterday. I'll get back. You know, I went to the gym. The pool and the gym are right next to each other. But anyway, Yeah, just make a plan and execute that bitch. Don't just sit around waiting for things to happen because they're not going to, and then you'll have to go to work, and then you'll be upset because you don't have time. Yada yada yada. If you want something, man, just put a plan in action, go after it, and make the sacrifices and take that leap, or else you're not going to get anywhere. But today, I have no spaces. I have one more stream later on this afternoon. I might jump into different spaces and stuff like that throughout the day, but I personally got a lot of work I got to do. I got some shorts that I got to record. I got some content to prepare, and you'll see that later on today. Other than that, we have the Marinade Finance space at 11 a.m. Eastern time. So I might, you know what? I might kind of push off the daily stream today so I can be part of that, tune into that, and maybe I'll go later than that. I don't know. We'll see. That's going to be up in the air. Yeah, we'll do that. Maybe I'll go a little bit longer today with this one and then keep that one up in the air. But tomorrow is Solana chilling with Solana Dean, Tactical Sticks. You guys both know who they are. 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for Solana chilling. And we're going to bring vibes and value, talk a little bit about Solana. I don't have any guests right now. I have some people that I've talked to about potentially coming on. I asked Trey what he was doing, and the answer. I fucking love that guy. He's retarded sometimes, but I love him. But no, man, we're going to be kicking it. It's not like a community space. I'd like to talk on specific topics and things like that. So we'll see where we're at with that. But definitely got the space tomorrow at 5. You'll see some announcements with that. We're getting closer and closer to launching the space with the Zeus working group. Dude, Jules, if you guys don't know who he is, he's definitely got some alpha, put things together, and Gravy as well. He's helping us with some of the graphics and stuff like that, and it's coming together pretty dope. I'm excited about this show, and it'll be a little bit earlier. It'll be probably closer to this time, so I'll have to adjust the GM chat and stuff like that. But that's why I kind of leave that flexibility with the streams and the spaces. I know how the space goes. I know how things can get kind of hectic, so I don't want to overload myself, but I want to make sure that there is a little bit of breathability, flexibility. You know what I mean? Just a little bit better off that way. But for the guys that don't know, the ladies that don't know, I'm a master chef with Marinade Finance, content and marketing lead at DD Gaming Labs, and part of the Zeus working group. All of my socials and platforms and stuff are on my link tree. You can check that out in the bio. I do appreciate when you guys go over there and follow those as well. It does help out. It does, help to keep things connected, and your support means the world. I mean, I'll do this shit regardless if you guys are going to show up or not, because I've realized, not everybody that tunes in here is going to be my audience elsewhere. Most of you guys have those apps, but hey, I can't make you press buttons, and all it is just pressing buttons. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see how that goes. Let's see. Pull this up here. Let's take a look at this real quick, and then we'll keep it moving. All right, guys, let's pull this up here. All right, so the market's been fucking cooking, and I think everybody's been pretty happy about that. I do think we go higher. If you're taking profits, I don't think that that's a problem at all. I think you're absolutely fine. I do think that there is, opportunity for that to be happening. And if people that don't take profits, it depends on your situation. Everybody's is different. You read on the timeline, people that, talk this, that, or whatever, want to make people feel another type of way about whatever they're doing. Like, we don't live the same lives. We don't have the same situations going on. So nobody's can really dictate or say anything that really should matter. So just keep that in mind. You're not behind. You're not missing out. The FOMO shouldn't have hit you. And if it does, just take a deep breath and realize, look, you got plenty of time. Most of the people that are investing right now that aren't taking profit, they have a longer time frame of like what they expect to happen here. So just keep that in mind. And again, you're just doing just fine. Like there's nothing to worry about on that end. We are going to take a look at these prices real quick. So let me go ahead and switch this up. And let me, so, all right. Just make it a little bit easier for you guys to see. We got Bitcoin at $118,569. Market cap of this, what is it? 1, 2, 3 billion, trillion, 2.35 trillion on Bitcoin. Is that what that is? 1, 2, 3 million, billion, trillion. Yeah. Insanity, guys. Insane numbers there. It's just holding that number right now. That's awesome to see. You got Ethereum chilling at $3,672. I expect this to go much higher, maybe even double from here. I just kind of think that it's in due time. XRP, people are so bullish on this, and I think we're at a point now. I don't think it's fair to argue against them. It was in litigation for so long. Everybody was hating on it. I remember a guy I was working with 2 or 3 years ago. He found out I was like really big into crypto and stuff like that. He was like, "What do you think about XRP?" And I was like, I think that there's a lot of fucking bullish people that love that coin and want to see it do well. I think just the politics and the government issue, or being involved in the litigation, all of that kind of stuff, that really suppressed the price for a long time. But at $3.44, you're up 16.8% on the week. Not a bad look for XRP. There's people who are calling for this thing to be like $500 at some point. So if you have, strong faith, you have a nice bankroll, or if you're able to dollar cost average into plays and stuff like that, XRP might be one of those ones that, after Bitcoin, Solana, and whatever else you're investing into, I would add that onto your portfolio. I just think that XRP should not be dismissed. I posted a video yesterday. I reposted it this morning just because I didn't have any other content prepared. But American Express has been talking about partnerships or working with them for payments and stuff like that. That could be one of the options. We've heard people kind of say that XRP is going to be the next digital dollar, or digital cash, or whatever the hell it is, digital payment option. So, American Express partnering with them, that does show some really, really bullish signs. We definitely saw the price jump from that news and that release, I think like 2 or 3 weeks ago. I just posted the video just because I think people kind of were looking at everything else, and I was like, you know what? Let me just tap in on this one, because I personally wasn't even looking at it like that. I was just doing some research, and I was like, oh, that's bullish. So good to see that. Another thing is, guys, if you're, what's it called? If you're not, BNB went over $800. That's pretty bullish there. Binance, guys, I think this one is another cook. I mean, it's been up there for a minute. There were some people on the timeline talking about Solana flipping BNB. I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon. I think BNB, or Binance, whatever you want to call it, I think they're going to go up a little bit higher, like thousands some dollars. Should be a relatively easy step for them. I mean, Binance is huge. Most people know about Binance. Well, not most people. Most people in the space, they're very, very familiar with Binance, but I don't know. That's one that I'm not going to keep my eyes off of. I'm going to continue to watch it. I don't have any exposure to it. I'm probably not going to buy it just because I like where I'm at with my other positions. But it's something to watch. It's something of interest. And I mean, most of the coins, when they get listed, Binance is one of the first ones that puts them on the exchange. So that is a bullish indicator. So we'll keep our eyes on that one. Solana, $197.19. Did take a little bit of a pullback. People were thinking, we'll be at 225. I think take a deep breath and let it cook. We know this is bound to go up much, much higher. I'm thinking 340, 380 or something like that. Are definitely like in the realms of possibility. I know we're under 200, and I'm talking about another $100 and change. But the movements that could be made and how quick this could happen. I think last time we crossed over $200, it took 5 days to get to 300. So very well could see this move up there. But I was kind of suggesting that maybe we do get a little bit of a pullback, and then it kind of bounces back up towards the fall. We'll see how things play out. I'm not really changing my positions based on that. The only thing I would say is that I am going to put cash on the side for entries into plays like some of the meme coins. I had cash on the side for them, like Troll. Once I saw that hit a good point, I was like, this is something I want to make sure that I got exposure to, yada, yada, yada. But yeah, having some cash on the side on Solana wouldn't be a bad idea. And then we got Dogecoin, 25 cents, up 26% on the week. Not bad at all. Cardano. There was what did I see with that? There was some weird news where I was like, wait, what? Cardano's in the mix. What was that? Damn, I gotta see if I have that saved somewhere. Because I don't remember it at all, to be honest with you. I just remember I saved something because I was like, that's wild. Of course. No idea where I saved it. I thought it was on Instagram. No. Just a bunch of fucking videos. Yo, this shit is so funny. The shit that I have saved in here is hilarious. it's like finance, motivational, and like manifesting stuff, and then it's just some ridiculously funny video of stupidity. Oh man, it shows you that some of us are just never going to grow up, and I don't plan to. I plan on being a big kid for the rest of my life. I don't care how old I am, but I'm going to be a kid at heart as long as I can. And I guess the other end of or other side of that is I'll just be dead when I'm when I'm out. But we got. Why do I keep getting kicked out of my own stream? This was happening on StreamYard yesterday with Greenity. It kept resetting my mic on this one. It's so strange. I've never had this happen like this. I don't know what I'm doing wrong or what the hell is going on, but as long as you guys can hear me and we're good to go, I'm happy with that. But now I'm curious to see if there's any kind of delay on this because homie was saying there was yesterday. Second, let's pull this up. No, it looks good. Everything looks good. What the hell's going on? Maybe that's a sign I need to get the fuck off here and get back to work. There is a space going on right now with Gambles and Nick from Gambles. We got Soul Quicks on there if you guys want to tune into that. I might pop into there, give a shout out and see what's up. But things are looking good. Things kind of just it when you see these moments where it just runs and runs and runs and it's like this isn't going to stop, it's good to see a little bit of a chop sideways, especially at these levels. So there's nothing really to worry about there. Let's take a quick look over at some meme coins. Actually, let's look at this first. Take a look at Magic Eden, take a look at the NFTs and see what we got cooking. Frogana at 1 SOL, so whatever. Tayo Robotics at 70 SOL. They're up 38% on the day. That's amazing. Kind of is when you start to see these OG top dog kind of NFT collections running that way and getting that momentum. I think that that's a good sign. And unfortunately, that kind of shows me that people are collecting, people are getting back in that position to start hoarding these NFTs and then doing the control supplied whatever. Because I don't think NFTs are going to come back into the way that we saw them previously. I think that they come back in a sense that, let me say this. I don't think they ever went away. I just think that the demand went away. And the reason to have them was to make money before. Like bottom line, people were making a shit ton of money or they were losing a shit ton of money. You need both for that to happen for that market. And that's just the way it is. A lot of people say they weren't good at it, but it isn't the hardest, but it's also not the most fairest trade to make because you're going against somebody that might have 30 or 40 of these things and you're trying to trade them and all they have to do is fuck with the price and squeeze it. They can continue to do that, but either way, I don't think you get that kind of run back. I do think that you get a pump. I do think that things go up. I think the best case scenario is Solana goes so high and some of these floors just remain from holders, and that's where you're going to see some of these gains. But we've got SMB at 21.7. We've got Mad Lads at 35.3. Famous Fox at 2.48. They're down 10% on the day. DGod 6.7. 100X Gem, whatever the fuck that is, 10.18. Tayo Infants 18.1. Retardio Cousins 4.38. And we've got Garbaggio at 0.98. They're down 27% on the day as well. I'll just say these ones too. We got Soul Casino and Shark on here. Soul Casino's at 0.87 and Sharks is at 0.37. All of these are good NFTs. All of these are, well, except for the ones I don't know. I'm not going to say they're good. I don't know what the fuck they're doing. Garbaggio is a fork of Solana. The homie Scene was talking about this one, and he seems to be pretty bullish. He kind of understood what was going on. I read into it. I'm not going to shill too much of it because I don't fully understand it, but it is a fork of Solana. It's something to take a look into and, do your own research when it comes to that. But there's a couple of, reputable people that are talking about that on the timeline. So I'll definitely take a look into that. But like I said, you're seeing a little bit of a movement with these NFTs. What I was kind of alluding to is we're not going to have NFTs like with generated collections going ape shit like we had before. You'll probably see some, good prices. You'll probably see some pumps with these floors and stuff like that. Maybe even auctions and one-on-ones take precedent over generated collections. I personally never really liked generated collections. Being an artist, I was like, this is like manufacturing art in a very cheap, shitty way. That, I mean, maybe it's not cheap, but like I didn't like it. It wasn't my favorite thing. It grew on me because I'm in the space, obviously, but it wasn't my my favorite way to look at art on here. But you're not going to argue against the game. If it works, it works. The one thing I will say is one-on-one art taking a little bit of a precedent over that. I do like that. I do think that that's a good thing. Well, the prices of them go outrageous sometimes, so it's like you got to just figure out where you're at. And sometimes I think that there's just people that are collectively, buying them to make it allure or make the allure seem that like, hey, these are very high sought after product. Like, let's say, for instance. Well, I guess I can't even say it. I guess it all really comes back to how much time do you have with that money? Like, what is it? The Z. Let me see these things. I forget the name of these ones, but Z. MB. What? Zero. I forget the name of that collection. Damn, I'm losing my shit. Let's see if I can find it from just scrolling through here. I like this art. I mean, I thought it was cool because it was one-on-ones. It was a whole collection of one-on-ones, which kind of makes me want to keep drawing the Web3 underdogs. So I really enjoyed making them. That's what I was thinking about this yesterday, listening to Mythics, I think, in the Mallow space yesterday. Zero Monkey Biz. This is a completely hand-drawn one-on-one collection. Like every piece is in there. They did it in phases where you mint the ticket and that gave you early entrance. And then these things would run up to like 30, 40, 50, 60 Solana. And now they're at 1.37. Like, does that make any logical sense to you? No, it doesn't. And everybody would talk so much shit and like make you feel like the worst person in the world if you sold yours. But pretty sure a lot of these people are down bad. So let's just take a look at the last prices on these. Maybe not these ones on the floor because they're probably just getting traded left and right. Maybe not. I'm looking for one that has like some stupid ass like. Okay, here's one. This little wizard guy, 3.06 for the price right now, and it was last sold at 9 SOL. 6.92, 7.89. I mean, 15.4. Look how stupid this one is. This is completely trash. It's ugly. Some of them are funny. I like them. Some of them are just god awful. Like this one's cool. Not the best, but it's cool. 11 sold for that. They're selling it for 4. 63 sold for this guy. Selling it for 5. 5.4 for this chick. Last sold for 11.6. Like, this is the silly season of, like, why isn't this one? This is sold for 20 sold, and now they're selling it for 6.8. 12 selling it for 6.3. All of these like crazy numbers. Like, this is what I'm kind of saying is, like, are they ever going to recoup that? Probably not. Do they care? I don't know. I like this one, 58.9 selling it for 8.8. 24.2 selling it for 9.1. 16. Well, I guess you got to wonder, what was Solana's price when this happened? Doesn't make any sense on that end, but we'll see. Is this the Daria or whatever her name is? Oh, that's interesting. Oh, that's the that's the dude from Doug Funny, the guy that always fucked with him. Yeah, I remember when he was going through asking people for suggestions of like what kind of like, characters and stuff like that to add. But to my point, this is a collection that was highly, supported because of, I think, what's it called? The Bitcoin version of these fucking things. Ordinals, whatever. And I think that's just, it was one of those things where, sure, it's cool. If you pay attention, it's even cooler. But from the outside looking in, it's like, why are these selling for this? It's because there's a bunch of people that have dumb money and want to see them run up. And they want to catch people that are going to buy them for 50, 60, whatever soul, think that they're going to go even higher. And it's like, we're in crazy land, like right now, to think that kind of shit is going to consistently happen. So that's why I'm saying, like, if you're at a point where you could take profit, don't be scared to. There's going to be other opportunities. Like, anybody that bought these for 10 plus, they'd probably be begging to buy these back there. Depending on, I mean, if some people say one soul is like $200. If it was like 100 back then, maybe it's a different case scenario. Selling it 50% off, you're at break even. But you get the point, guys. Like, buying your NFTs, like, the generated collections, I don't like as much. These are all very unique, not the best quality of art, in my opinion. I mean, they literally scribbled these together because it was cool. That's the way they wanted them to look. They had that very unique appeal to them, and people like that. But I was buying into these. I was believing the same hype because I was like, damn, if these guys are running them up to like 60, these got to keep going. These got to keep going. Not the case. What keeps going is your bank account to zero. Like this one, 48. So even if you say this was at 100, you're selling it for 19, you're still at a loss there. 35.16. You get the idea, guys. Like 65, selling it for 25, 17, 21. You start to see these numbers coming up a little bit higher. But again, it's not my money. It's just a reflection of like how this was, where we were at before. I like this guy selling it for 25 when it was last sold for 19. He's about that life. Some of these people are ballsy, but you can list them. They may or may not ever do anything. They may not come back around. But my point is, guys, like, NFTs are subjective to what you believe that the price should be. If you're buying it for art, cool. If you're buying it because you think it's going to be a good trade, great. If you believe in NFTs, then buy whatever the hell you want to. For me, I kind of focused myself on certain collections that I like. I'm not much of an NFT collector like I used to be. Like, my whole brand used to be NFT in me, and now it's just Solana because of the ecosystem, because there's so much more going on, because I like, where we're at with that whole situation. So I'm gonna close this out because I'm done looking at NFTs, honestly. But let's see what else we got here. I think I pretty much covered most of the things I wanted to kind of touch in and tap into. We didn't look at any coins yet. Let's go ahead and take a look at anything worth looking at, really. Well, Pengu. Pengu's probably worth looking at. Oh, for the record, if you guys ever want to come into the stream and be part of the conversation, you can be a PFP or you can be just like me, show your face. Very, very simple stuff here, guys. Completely up to you. I'm not going to be upset if you don't. It is more fun when there's people in here, but man, I've been doing all this shit myself since day one. So it's one of those things, like, I'll be here. If you guys want to join in, great. The people that are talking about doing stuff, I don't believe you until I see it. But again, that's that discipline thing. Show up for yourself. Everything else will come. What a nice comeback for this coin. Absolutely filled the gap there. So what do we think happens here, guys? Let's just do some little TA on this one. This is one of my favorite setups. Let's just use this just because there's a little bit more consistency on there. Bang, bang, bang. Okay. I say this over and over and over again, guys. This does not have to be perfect because you're just looking for an idea. Let's say this comes back down somewhere, I don't know. Let's just say here. The depth right here is typically from this breakout. Like if you have a cup, it fills the gap. You typically get a handle that sends it up there. This, how high does it go is based on the depth of how low this is from the gap fill to the bottom. Put that down where the handle is at its lowest point before it breaks up, and then that should be a good indicator of where the price is headed to next. So if you're in this position, you start to see this coming down and you want a long, Pengu, this would be where you would want to do that. And once it comes into this, like the reason I picked this right here is because you see where this kind of came back down and it picked back up on this ticker. These are daily charts. So if you look at it a little bit closer, it sold all the way up there, then it sold off, and then it's split the next day. It opened up with a green candle. Still selling pressure on that one. You can see that there's a empty wick at the top. But when you look over here, you see a lot of traffic. You see a lot of points of interest right here where it's kind of chopping, bounce, reject, bounce. Like all of these seem to be a little bit more important than this here. This is good. I mean, not this here, but these other areas, because there's not as much support and resistance. You don't see anything going on really right there. So I would imagine that this might come down somewhere in this area, maybe 3 cents, 2 cents, something, and then rockets back up like that. And then, see where it goes from there. If this does go all the way up to here, 50% is going to bring you back around 4% or 4 cents right there. So I'm thinking like this does have a chance to run up to, where's 8 cents at? Yeah, right here. A little bit higher, but that's kind of like where you're looking at. It depends on where this goes. If this continues to run up, then it just said fuck your handle, we're not doing that. But if we get a handle in there, typically it's going to use that handle as a point of reference. Use this chart right here, whatever this depth is where this runs up to. So that's how I'll play them. That's how I'll continue to play it. It doesn't mean it's exactly going to go, but if you look at patterns, if you look at historical reference points, if you look at charts and indicators and stuff like that, this is a good play. This typically plays out over and over and over again. And if it doesn't, well, that's why you chart it. That's why you watch and you wait for the play to come to you. The discipline will be the best thing that you can develop in this game, whether it's, trial and error, or you just know, like, I'm writing this down and this is what I'm going to, like, if you say I'm buying here and I'm not selling until here, don't take care if it takes 5 years, make sure that money doesn't need to be used for 5 years, because you'll lose your position. If you chase this right now thinking that this is going to go up, like, look at it, guys, this is going to go up. No. You should have been buying down here when nobody was, because we all thought this was going to go back up. If you didn't get exposure, like myself, I think I sold most of mine around 2 cents or something like that. I was picking up under a penny down in this area because it was going flat down here. Nobody was really caring. It took this, it was a little bit of a jump up here, but once it came back down, that's why I was like, oh shit, we got a little bit of an opportunity. And sure enough, that's where it took off there. But listening to Luca, seeing what he's talking about regarding, Pudgy Penguins, Pengu. I mean, look at all the PFPs on the timeline. Look at the toys in the stores and people clipping these things to their fucking whatever the fuck they got, their necks, their clothes, and their hats, and whatever. It's one of those things. It's not going away. It's very obvious that Pengu's here to stay, and it's going to pave the way for a couple different things, in my opinion. I was looking at something where they were like bridging Pengu over to abstract. Like, don't do that. Don't fuck up something good. Nobody gives a shit about that. I mean, personally, I don't care. I just don't like imagine me streaming on abstract. You'd have to leave all of this to go to abstract, right? I don't know the whole ins and outs of it, but I feel like that has too much friction, too many blocks. They should have just went to X, and I don't know. That's just me. I don't think we were ready for that. I think that was a little bit ahead of schedule, but I still like the community. I like the bullishness. I like the sentiment around it, but more than anything, I like my penguin. Here, look at my penguin. These guys. See, I got this guy when I was in Denver. Clip-on plushy guy. and it just so happened to have a chef's hat. So the chef's hat stays on. So shout out to the space later on today. Nah, I love this guy. He's cool, chilling. But check this one out. All right, so I'm not much of like a collector guy or anything of that nature. Did I close that or did that close itself? I don't remember doing that. But anyway, I got this guy. He's pretty badass. He's got a little backwards hat on, chilling, holding it down. Nice little bubble vest. But yeah, I didn't open any of these. Like this is still taped shut, so I don't know what's inside here. I feel like I should probably put these in like something. Scan the QR code inside. No. I don't save a lot of things, and I was able to save this. And this is another one. This little guy. It's a little igloo house or whatever. There's supposed to be a character in here, but I didn't open this up either. Just kind of kept it as a display thing. Is it ever going to be worth money? I don't know. It's something cool I got from ETH Denver, and I wanted to hold on to it. I'm curious of what's in here, but we'll never know. I have no idea why this keeps closing me out. This is wild. I've never seen this happen like that. I don't like that. I saw Greenity was having some issues with spaces yesterday, and here we are again, more issues with spaces. Yeah, so it looks like most things are taking a little bit of a pullback. I mean, most of them are, well, not pullback, but a little bit tracking kind of sideways or charting sideways. I'm just going to take a quick look at Troll because I'm curious to see what's going on there. I haven't looked at it at all. But it is 8:30, guys. I'm probably not going to keep this going much longer. There is a lot to get done today, content-wise. I mean, for one, it's something I want to make sure that I get done. Okay, so Troll came all the way back down to 0.1 or 0.018. Not gonna lie, I did take a little bit of profits at the top there at the peaks when it got to like almost 2 cents or there, 2.5 cents or whatever this was. There was a W, but it did come down. Let's see. I'll just show you the chart real quick just because we're here. Share screen. Troll. All right. 69 of you guys in here. I do appreciate it. If you want to share this, get this out to more people. I do appreciate it. Taking a quick look at Troll right here, guys, on the 15-minute. I'm going to switch it to the hour. Give you a better look at what's cooking. All right, so this is a good example. It still shows bullish signs right here, kind of ranging a little bit, I guess you can call it. Yeah. So you see a clear wedge forming here. Generally, this is the pattern that you're seeing. This is coming down like that. I guess it's going to want to go all the way. 4 hours. Typically, this is, you would draw it like this. Rough charting here, guys. But typically this goes like bounces on these, and then this point it goes like that. Does this play out exactly like that? I don't fucking know, dude. But my bet is this does extremely well. I just think that Troll's a good meme. I think it's very very well known as far as like the image and stuff like that. You're seeing more and more people getting, you know, some interest in here. So the likelihood is this does well. I don't know for sure. I'm not going to tell you guys it's going to do good, because if it does terrible, whatever, that's on you because you bought it. I'm not taking credit for any of y'all. Just be clear. Let me get rid of these things. All right. Boom, boom, boom. But if you are a swing trader, if you are looking to take profit, if you were in that position where like, hey, you're just looking for some money, why wouldn't you want to sell when you had an opportunity to? I mean, it closed the gap there. So what I'm looking at, like a potential move here, and the closer, get rid of these things. When you look at this is our same setup. You got your cup, gap fill, handle. Again. So if this does pump from here, it looks like it could go back up to about 3 cents. All right. That sends us relatively close to this one. That's where it broke down. That's where it resisted. So this is, I mean, this is exactly what I would look for. And what's that look like? Roughly about there. So it does look like it has a little bit of room to run. Like I said, these aren't exact, but the gap filled, typically you get a handle, typically it runs up. Gap fills all the way over here, broke down, you didn't get the bounce you wanted. It filled all the way back here though, so you have this huge cup. You've got these different points where it's, you know, it's come up and resisted. So it's tested this, and I mean, even so, when you go even further, let's go ahead and look at the 4 hour on this one. Reset the chart. You got a lot of activity over here where you can still draw this line, you know, and run it through that just to see, hey, where has this played any factors in it previously? So I don't know. I just got a feeling this is shaping up to be a nice play. If you're not into any meme coins, take a look at this one, put it on your watch list, and you know, look for your entries. But like I said, if this filled the gap right here, it tested and rejected, and we got a little bit of a, you know, a handle right here for this cup, gap fill, handle, should run up just about like that much, you know, 2-3 cents, 2.5 3 cents or so. I don't know exactly where it's going to go, guys, but that's where I'll be looking at. That's, I mean, just looking, bottom line. I'm not going to be looking to sell everything. Like, I did take the profits right there. Probably would reinvest if it went any lower than this. Like, if it comes back down to this area, sure, I'm probably just going to buy it back with the profit I made. But yeah, and I've got a position. I think that this does have a good runway. We'll see how it plays out, though. But we are going to wrap this one up, guys. I didn't want to go too long. We are at almost an hour anyway, so I am going to cut it short today. 72 of you guys in here today. I do appreciate all of your support and you know, coming through, hanging out with me in the mornings, getting the day started. This is GM Chat on SMS, and we will be back maybe for the daily stream. A lot of different things going on today, so we're going to kind of make sure we show up to what we need to and execute and make sure that we you know, make sure we get our work done today. But I appreciate everything, guys. Again, if you guys ever want to join the stream, be part of the chat, you guys are more than welcome. Just hit me up, let me know. I'll be able to bring you up, send you a link, and be able to cook. Other than that, guys, take care of yourselves. Have a good rest of your day. Again, don't forget to take profits if you want to, because nothing sucks more than looking at your bag and be like, damn, I could have bought back in and I could still have some more money on the side. Don't be that guy.